All right. Good morning. Vince here. Let's start this new live stream starting soon. About the market situation, we'll go over BTC quickly, and then I'm gonna go over the market overall to see what the other coins are doing. Um, Pretty much we know what's going on with BTC, and we have to see if it will break this level or not. It's currently bouncing around this horizontal level 7915, which is the HVN that we identified already, or the VPVR indicator. Oh, this is a bitmax, so it doesn't work here. But anyways, this is the highest volume zone, and that's where BTC is kind of ranging at the moment. Has been ranging from since May 13, and now is the 25, so about 2 weeks that it's been going up and down, up and down, up and down, without giving us a clear direction. And when this happens, it's tough to trade any other coins. Why? Because we know that above a certain range, when BTC turns bullish, people start to buy USDT market, and we've said about this range. That's where USDT market kind of goes up. If BTC starts to go up inside this this square, of course, when it starts to cross, everything kind of follows. And then we have the other range, and it's a low range, low volume range, so Bitcoin doesn't stay inside here too much. We don't know how some coins will react or not. And then everything below this level might be really bad for either USDT and the BTC market. So things hasn't been really have been really confusing these past days, just because Bitcoin was ranging. If we trade during the bull market or the uptrend, things are more clear, either in USDT and in BTC market, because we have some few weeks to know and predict what it might happen. But at those levels right now, timing is really important, and it's not easy at all to know how the market will react. Regarding price action of this trend, we know already what's happening. We are still maintaining above 6.8, which is great. So if you look at the overall bull run, the overall bullish trend, uptrend, we're still holding here pretty well, and that's great. That's great because sellers didn't push so hard. Actually, they pushed once, really hard. Some guys sold 30 million in one shot, and that caused a really crazy dump that made a record, I think. Price crashed in like a day about 25% of the overall market cap of Bitcoin, which is huge, and then recovered pretty quickly, really quick. Why? Because here, the 6.4 level that we all know, it's the place where many traders play their buy orders, because it's the gap that got filled in the SME future chart. Okay. So this part of the trend is not really important. It crashed, came back up, done. Like it's like it almost didn't happen, right? So Bitcoin is still looking strong in the higher time frame, and until it drops below this previous low, it will still be in buyer's mode. We know it's kind of shaping a flat top triangle almost, or a symmetrical triangle with this pattern, which is not yet clear. Um, I have been I've been predicting this little up and down pretty well because I called 6.4 when we were here, and it reached 6.4. Then I was not sure what it would have happened in after seeing this massive bounce, and Bitcoin reached again the same level, and then I noticed the three waves that were similar to the previous pattern, and I tried to trace a similar correction. That kind of happened, but Bitcoin corrected to the previous high of my main level, didn't drop further to 200 where I really wanted it to see, and dropped quite a bit from 8.3 to 7.4. That's 10%. My target was on 7.2. I wasn't that off. Then spikes back up. I think this spike was caused because the Facebook news, and candles are really small. Look how it went up. Green candles are very tiny, and this is telling me that retailers are buying this, not institutions. Here, institution bought a lot. See those green candles? So who's able to move the price so fast, so hard? Just institution can, or whales, I guess. Whales that were squeezing the short. Same whales that then sold, probably. So in this case here, when he spiked back up, this why he pushed so hard, because many orders of CME were filled, and price spiked really hard. But here, those green candles don't look that bullish, and that could be a reason why it was not strong enough to break my main level here. And this is the main level because it's the wick of my my high. Those are all false breakouts. Okay, it didn't make a false breakout yet. Just touch main level and dropped a bit to just retest my main level, and didn't crash yet. So we don't know. We really don't know what it's going to do. It might just spike up again and go down hard. But I really would like to see this 7.2 level reached again, because that's the level that I'm looking. The gap that didn't get filled yet. I'm not sure when it will get filled, because when we have a gap, it doesn't mean that gap will get filled right now. Bitcoin could go up and then smash down, fill that gap, and then I don't know, go up again. Everything can happen here. So still looking for that drop somehow down to 7.2. There was a little gap here that formed, and price was going down and then recovered to fill that gap. Then I was hoping for a drop from here, and then Bitcoin news came up, and some FOMO kicked in. So there are still uncertain where these things might go, in my opinion. So we have to be careful when trading the market, because everything can happen still at this level. If we break, of course, 8.3, that will be really bullish, because because the overall chart that we traced a while ago, let's see what I got that one. We have this 3-day chart that you guys all know by now. That breaker will not act as a resistance anymore, as it has been doing on this level. If we break here, that will be insane, in my opinion. We say that the 200, the price is above 200 moving average on the 3-day. This happened in 2016 to before the bull run. In the bull run, we had a fake false breakup, drop, and then we had another pump, bounce on the 200, and then boom. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on. Moving average 200 that matches with the 6.8. 6.8, it's a good level. Which is my previous low, and that's the level I'm going to keep an eye on. Where is my chart? Here. That's the level I'm going to look for in case of a dump, of course. Okay. BitMEX reached, look at that wick that reached 6.3, bounced pretty much on moving average 100 based on 4-hour time frame. I just noticed this now. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. Probably is a coincidence. But yeah, what to say? What else to say on Bitcoin? We were talking about the shape, and I have this on my altcoin layout. Bitcoin. Here. So this is the one I traced the other day, just yesterday. So many weeks I skipped this because it was just a massive dump. One people ordered, they sold 30 million. I think those are more precise. It's not a perfect symmetrical triangle, the small one that you see. The other one is more precise, has a more symmetrical shape. And that's why I think this might drop to test again and then go up. We have this untested zone that is right on 7.2. There might be a great demand zone with a wick that can just drop tiny down to touch and test, retest, confirm this diagonal right there. See, and let's see if this could be some kind of harmonic. This could be a little harmonic pattern too. Retrace 50%, 61, between 61 and 60%, going up 88, 85, and could go down to either 78 would be pretty spot on right there, or down to 88, which will be here. So not a bad one, not a bad one. The same one that we spot here pretty much. kind of similar pattern. um, Anything, of course, above the supply level, it will be bullish. So you guys know what to do. If it start to break, of course, you can jump on either BTC and on Ethereum and try to ride the coin. But watch out for bull trap. Okay, bull trap might last few days too. BTC can just do this, that, stay here, and then boom. Okay, it doesn't have to be just a daily candle. It can be also a little pattern that stays above the level, as I did on BNB, I think. Which one? I trace a BNB chart somewhere. Yeah, this one. I posted this in cafe the other day. Someone was asking, like this red square, they're false breakouts. So people that are buying the breakout traders, they buy it. They even buy probably the retest. It goes up again and then drops. When the real high of this level is this one. This is the real high. The trend is to close above this level. This was a push, boom, down, retest. Traders bought the retest, they got trapped, boom, down. This was the best entry, and we bought on retest of the blue level, which might be a good one. But we have our first target right on this high, swing high, so we'll see if that's a faker or not. Okay. Back to our BTC. Altcoins, XBT. So this was what I was talking about. It's making a consolidation. Actually, dropping here will be better for the overall bull market, I think. Another drop here, and if we bounce here and goes up again, it's consolidating more around this level, and the support will become stronger. And if it becomes stronger, then we go up. When it crash, it can just crash on this level, no below. But if it just start to go up now, this won't be a solid level, as solid as if it drops. Okay. BTC market has been dying slowly. We got stopped out on a few of the coins that we attempt to buy very low that were not reversing, like DGD and RVN. They're doing that. BNB and Link still showing an uptrend. The Link is kind of like dropping a bit now after breaking all-time high. BNB is still kind of going up. So the USDT market is smart to trade the USDT market only, of course, when BTC goes up, and the BTC market when BTC either drops slowly and goes sideways. This is, of course, not easy to know. It's not easy at all, actually. Hey, actor, do you consider the wick at 66445? Yes, I consider the wick. I mean, I don't consider it as a level. I don't consider it as a level, but I consider it as an important price action that happened there, because we know why that happened. It dropped to fill the gap and they dropped pretty fast, then this is telling me that so much buying power was there waiting, and price dropped all the way up. But of course, I'm not going to consider this as a level. All my levels have been traced, and I skip this to make also my trend lines. Okay, like I'm not gonna trace a trend line that considered that wick like this, because it was just a quick wick. But it's important because it tells me what's happening here. So it's telling me that so much buyers came in. So the wick is important, but not for levels or trend lines. I mean, that's it about BTC. I don't want to go more into details. You guys know when it's ranging that I suggest some scalping techniques, scalping strategy that you guys can use to follow price action. And remember, when I do when I have a bullish bias, or I call for a drop from here, this doesn't mean you cannot trade a bullish short scalp from here to there, for example, or from here to there. Remember, this is a 4 hour. When you're going to 15 minutes time frame, you can make so many, you have many opportunities here, this level. Let's see what happened here. For example, let me remove this. Like from here, I call a short. I say it might go down a lot. If there is a breaker here on the 5 minutes I'm going, that's a little bit too much probably. Here we go. So if you were looking at this, I see a flash dump about from 7.7 to 7.5. So on the 5 minutes, it's pretty intense as a drop, right? And the price broke above it. So I have a little block here, this green candle previous to this, that could be my breaker. So I can trace that and place my stop below the wick here. Okay, so you could have actually two trades. One, this block broke, retested. You could actually enter here for a long, placing a stop below the wick. You could have made up to, I guess, 2.77 for one trade, and then you actually would have been able to make another one, buying on the block, set a stop below the wick, and in this case you could have made also more. 5.9 6 hour. So this is in the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart. This is scalping, right? So I'm not gonna go scalping and suggest this into the channel every minute, because those opportunities can be all over the place every second. So that's why I'm teaching you those kind of things. What I wanted to say about this one, that you really don't need more. You don't need to look at the 1 hour to know that this is happening. You just need this part of the trend. That's all. Maybe you need to know what's there is before, some resistance, some support, but as soon as you spot those wicks that might bounce and they took out previous stops, that's what you gotta look for those scalp trades. Okay. Sometimes people ask why this and why not that. Why this green candle is the one that took out the stop, because if I go on 15 minutes, probably I won't see this green candle, but I will see the above one, right? And let's check that one. And it's a good question because every time frame has different opportunities. So if I'm considering this as my breaker, the one that took out the stop, if I go on 15 minutes, let's see if I see it. I don't really see it, but on 15 minutes I would have traced this one, the one above, this green, okay? And this green was a breaker. When became a breaker? When it broke, okay? When it broke here. When it comes back down, you can place your long position. On this one, didn't go really high this time. If you buy in, you place a stop below below the wick, previous wick maybe, right there. You can see it didn't reach below previous wick. You would have had, not bad actually. Up to here, it would have reached 2R, and up to there, right here, it would have reached 3.6. Then if you would have attempted again, it would have worked actually, but you would have got stopped out because the wick was massive here. So this is something that I'm trying to understand now better, like when it's over, when this breaker it's over. And I mean, if this demand zone is being took out completely on 1 and 2 times, probably on the third time is not gonna be very precise as this and that. Here it bounced, but there is something that I see here. What I see here, considering just this little trend, I have some lows, right? The lows that are here. Traders place probably a stop here. Okay. So what happened here? Boom, a nice wick. The lesson I taught you guys today. You see a wick, price spike back up. What happened here? Stop were taken, price reverse, order block, which is the order block that caused the drop. It's probably this one. Okay. That's the breaker that took out the stops. Went up, it didn't broke, it break. Here you can place another trade. Okay? A trade that goes below with a stop below previous wick. And you can make a little scalp. Remember, it's on 15 minutes time frame, so you cannot predict too much. Okay? This was not the best one. This was like 1.8 R. Okay, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so I'm doing longs, right? I was doing longs while I predicted a drop in the higher time frame. Okay, so still those longs are still possible. Okay, of course I'm on a downtrend, so you better look probably for shorts in that situation. But you know, when scalping 15 minutes or 5 minutes chart, you can really do up and downs, like as soon as you see some price action, some good price action. Okay, all right, so this was Bitcoin. We know everything about it. Let's go back on our altcoins and see how they've been acting. Let me close this. So let's check our premium analysis because few have got stopped out, few are going up, few screw us up, they hit our entry level, and some reach target, and the other just drop like crazy. So everything happened. Let's check one by one. So TRX is bouncing on the breaker. Reached my entry, didn't go inside that demand so much here. That's why I wanted to really buy later on. Okay, so I didn't enter here. We would have not reached even the next resistance. So we're bouncing there. We're bouncing. So it's kind of creating a support. Will it hold? I hope so. It's kind of shaping a flat bottom triangle, which is not the best pattern that I would like to see here. So I have this kind of shape. So or it breaks soon, or it's going to die. This one was a risky trade. Why it's a risky trade? Because it's still on a downtrend. Okay, we know that it's still on a downtrend. So yes, we are trying to enter considering a possible manipulation that's happening here by the whales that bring the price below, up, and now are trying to like push the price up from the breaker. But you have seen from my chart that I trade something that goes down because there is so much demand and price can really drop more on the yellow block, on the green block, and so on. So I still don't know if it's the right time for this to go up or not. That's why it was a risky entry. For now, still good. Of course, not worth to raise stop an entry level at this point. Maybe when we start to go up here, we break this flat bottom triangle, we can raise our stop and be more safe. BNB USDT, it's going up still, making this high. You guys know why I entered this, because it broke under 61% Fibonacci extension, which is a retracement, how I trace it, upside down. And when he broke that, which was my target, he dropped one level and then boom, nice spike up, because there was an IEO that just was announced, retested, that's why I entered. Okay, the quick retest of the level, and I said, well, you know what, it might reach 261%, and we'll see that then. Okay, still going up. I wanted to place a really safe stop. This is the most safe stop you can get because it's below my previous high and below the swing low. Okay, and is below the guy that really started this this pump. Okay, so the price could have actually dropped here and then go up because it's challenging this guy. Okay, so if sellers are not able to kill this guy, which is the buyer that started this, the price can still go up. That's why the safest entry is there. Why I placed the safest entry like this instead of here? Because we were all-time high. Simple as that. Because we were all-time high, I didn't want to really be so risky and place a stop just below the wick. But you know, if you guys are babysitting the trade and you like BNB and you are looking at it every day, every second of your trading, yes, place a tight stop and re-enter if you have to. Okay, the difference is it's massive. Why? Because when this trade will reach here, I will have just 2.20 R. Okay, but if I had a very tight stop, I will have 6 R. But consider the risk that you take. When I enter this coin, I placed 1% risk of my portfolio. So if I win, I will win 2%. if I use this stop, I will never use 1% risk on my portfolio because my chances to get stopped out are very high. So what I'm gonna use here, maybe what, 0.1, 0.2. So if I do 6R, I'm winning still 1%. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make more if I reach 2R with this trade and risking 1% instead of 0.1 or 0.2. Okay. Let me go back to the original here. Still not safe to raise stop to this level. Maybe we could raise in profit a little bit, but maybe it's not really worth it. We are on break even right now with our stop, so we'll see. We'll see how it will react to 261 if it reaches there, and then we decide what to do. Of course, it's suggested to sell some profit when you reach that level, at least your initial investment, and maybe let the other ride for free. Or you can do percentages, however you wish, or you don't sell at all, you raise stop, you keep raising your stop until whenever, until it gets stopped out, I guess. Okay. Do you still use Kiss Aiken arrows? I'm using it less. I use it for quick scanning when I scan through the coins. But I got really good at seeing what the trend is doing, even when looking at candles, normal candles. So I don't need to switch to Ekinashi to see what the trend is doing, because I can see that from the candles. But I might switch to Ekinashi when the trend is really confusing and is not telling me, I don't understand what's going on. But you know, BNB is so clear that you don't need the Ekinashi that tells you what it's doing. I can see the waves, I can see everything. But if I have a coin that is so messy, I just switch to Ekinashi and it will tell me what's going on. Okay, but it's still helpful to know the waves. Look at how precise you can tell the waves on this pattern with the Kinashi, like the Elliott wave. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there is a small ABC probably, and then there is another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's very clear. When you switch to normal candles, you see them, but some might not get, might not spot them. Some beginners, okay. And secondly, I'm doing more price action trading right now. So I really focus on what the candles are doing, how the buyers and sellers are pushing the price up, and then I cannot see that with the Kinashi, which is more an average candle. Okay. So BNB might reach a target. VET USDT is still like missing my third target. That's why I kept this trade on. Reached the first and second take profit. Probably I don't know if everybody was able to sell at TP2 because there is a nice wick down, but I still have some just for the long run. I'm holding probably 20% of this. That's why I raised my stop to entry on this one, and I'm trying to reach TP3. We'll see. I mean, we have a bounce on this level that I traced. I'm not sure if will keep going up or not. You know, I had just 20% tokens. I don't really care. I could sell here, but yeah. BNB BTC. I don't know if you guys took this trade. I just posted in TA also the BNB trade. If you would have break, actually broke. You could have bought on the breakout or the retest. It's going up. We'll see where it can reach. It's now right here where there is some some play here. There's a low and a high, so this could be a little stop. Still, if you guys want, if you guys want to bring stop to entry, probably yes, I would, because there is another level here. So this could actually just do this, then go up. Okay. Fuel, it's a motherfucker, because so what happened on this trade? I placed a stop very tight on 129, so pretty much where it reached. I'm not sure if everybody was stopped out because it was a very quick, so some may be still in the trade. I suggested a re-entry for this coin because I really didn't know if it would have bounced here on 50% or lower. Anyways, for those of you that entered, coin had another wave, but the final wave was not as strong as the third one. Usually the third one, as you know, for Elliott waves are the strongest, and then the fifth can be small, can be even lower, can be massive. It depends how much FOMO there is in this coin, and this is not, it didn't do great. I raised my stop to entry, boom, and we got stopped out again. I just restopped to be safe on this one. I really didn't like the continuation, so I'm not sure if it's gonna do an ABC correction at this point, or I might go up again. If it goes up, I'm just going to look for this level and buy it when it is really making a reversal or not. When I have more information. And this is a little level. I probably will be looking at this level, so that could be a nice trade if he reaches there. Could give us a nice R with the possibility of a reversal. Stop, and yeah, stop probably below this low. Okay, DGD, we got stopped out. Look at that. So if we start to go up from my stop, I'm going to get super pissed, as always. This was based on the daily, so it was a very like how you say, oh, I cannot say the word, volatile. Okay, let's see what I did wrong if it bounces here. I really thought, first of all, the bounce would have happened at 78% here. I didn't consider it to go all the way down. Probably my mistake was to place a stop here because the previous low is right there, and I should have maybe put a stop tiny lower. I think that's the mistake I did. Unfortunately, sometimes I chart so fast that I might do these mistakes, and I'm a human. I can do mistakes. But let's see what happens here. If they're using again our stop to pump the price, that would be fun if this happen. Of course, risky trade because the pattern is still in full downtrend. We don't know. We have no sign of a possible reversal because it's making a falling wedge, kind of falling wedge correction. It's not just one trend there it's more. There is like a triangle, then it broke, and so on. So and Fibonacci is not really telling me too much. What is that? 78. The 88 maybe. The 88. The 88 is another good Fibonacci. Why? Because that comes a lot in the harmonic pattern. That's actually a good Fibonacci that I should put back in my analysis. Um, Not sure if this could be a legit harmonic. It's actually not bad because I mean, if we don't consider that massive wick, we have pretty good levels. 88, 61, and 88 pretty much. So it could be an harmonic. Could be an harmonic. Anyways, we'll see what how it reacts there. Too bad I should have put a stop a little bit tiny lower. I didn't focus on that because I really thought it was going to bounce here where he had some kind of reaction, but it didn't. Also BTC caused this little damage, so if BTC start to go to drop from here, you know, it might be good. It might be good. Some coins really drop because BTC start to go up like crazy. What percentage do you sell at TP1, TP2, TP3? I don't have a fixed percentage. Sometimes I sell everything at TP1. Sometimes I don't sell. Sometimes I just work with my stop loss. Depend on what I feel about the coin, how I feel about the coin, what I feel about the market. It will change every single time. In my own trade, I personally don't sell in portions, so I don't sell 50% TP1, 30% TP2, and the rest I let it ride. I just sell all at once on one TP, or I keep riding it. I raise my stop. I trail my stop a lot to risk to make more money. If I don't, I make just a few bucks. DGD, RVN also didn't really worked out. The breaker that we notice is still there. It's still there, but we'll see if it will react. That breaker was on what time frame? 4 hours? Yes, 4 hours. Our stop was very, very tight. So probably I have to learn to lower my stop even below the wick, the previous wick. That might work better. Still in this kind of falling wedge setup. Many coins are doing this. Many coins. So we might look for a breakout of this pattern at this point. Very risky trade. Why? Because it was in a downtrend. I mean, it had a nice spike here. This spike was really good. Took out 3 reds. So that was a great one. Let's see volume. Volume was not that great, huh? For such a huge candle, volume was not anything crazy. Hmm. So quite risky, I guess. Main stops are probably below this level, even though I counted the stop that are here as taken. So the price could actually drop all the way down to take those stops too and then go up. So this is our block that took our demand zone where price reacted every time. Every time price reached this block, pumped hard. You guys can see, reach there, boom, goes here, nice reaction. Now he's going then inside again. Will have the reaction or not? Maybe. We need to see some volume though for this coin. RVN, hot Ethereum, hot Ethereum. Hot Ethereum also bounced, almost reached the target. We reached up to entry. In this case, too, the fifth wave was not that strong and barely made above resistance. Then BTC going up probably caused this altcoin a drop in all the market, and the price never reached all the way up. We're on entry level. I don't know. Probably will do an ABC correction. So at this point, if it start to go up, we might just sell in profit when it reaches a little bit high. Probably on 3 level, since we are on entry level right now. Our stop. BTT Ethereum also going higher and higher. This one was another Elliott wave, got stopped out on this drop, quickly recovered, didn't make an higher high. At this point, BTT Ethereum is good just if it breaks above main level, otherwise I'm not going to look at it. Stratis, these are altcoins. Well, Stratis is pumped a bit since the call. It's pumping a little bit. This is just our ratio that I was talking in chat channel, because someone asked me where to put a stop, and you can even put very close after the retest, and I think it retested here. See, breakout, retest, buy, you place a stop, just the retest, and then you let it run. Or you could have placed a stop way below the triangle just to be safe, but I didn't place a stop on this trade. I just bought with 1%, 2% of my portfolio, and I'm just gonna hold it without a stop. So if it goes up 500% for the long term holding, well, I'm going to make 5% of my portfolio, which is not bad. If it goes up 1000%, I'm gonna make 10% of my portfolio. If it drops 50%, I'm just going to lose what, 0.5% of my portfolio. So I'm still good. So these were the analysis that I called for the one for which I gave some opportunities, and then I have the interesting one that I just posted without any risk and reward. One of you took them, some other not. But I'm just going to go over because I would like everybody to know what to do. Depends on what they took or not. Silica and Go. We talk about those coins. You know what happened here. I've said it many times. Broke it. I've seen this massive drop, and I'm like, massive drop is like rejected. Sellers are strong. So even though buyers were pushing, it was not able to break here. So I'm like, you know what? It dropped so fast, it's not good for me to attempt an entry for a longer trade. You could have attempted here for a short trade, yes. You could, of course, very risky because you don't know if you would have bounced here or not. But if, let's say, you wanted to risk, made an entry there with a stop just below here, you could have made a 3R trade few times. First attempt, second attempt, almost third. But look at the rejection. So I was like, you know what? Let's wait for some accumulation at the level, some sideways action. Then, if I start to see that this coin start to bounce, we can enter. But you guys can see that drop, retest, drop, and now it's going down. So I don't know. It was not an entry for me. Go, same situation, I think. Same thing. We could have bought the breakout of this inverse head and shoulder. Too risky though. Buying on the breakout is always risky because you buy and then you get dumped. Should we have bought on a retest here? Not really, because this was not a strong level. This was my main level. Never reached there. Dumped so hard. When he dumped so hard, I'm like, no good. He pumped again. So you could have bought with a stop below and made your super short-term trade, but then got rejected again down. So not an entry for me to attempt a swing trade. Okay. APPC, I just called it here. Hank, I think, entered. Hopefully he sold it. It was here when I noticed. I went to sleep. The next day I found it all the way up, pump and dump. Nothing great. Storm Ethereum. Well, this coin is doing nothing anymore. I thought it was doing something. Not interesting at the moment. I'm gonna remove it. NPXX Ethereum is trying to break this main level. This is not good anymore. I just want to see it to break that level. It's making an upward channel, which is never good. I like more flat top here. It's making this kind of channel. If it drops, it drops. If it breaks above it, that could be great. Just waiting for this coin. In BTC chart, it's just going up and down between 8.10, 8.10. So we'll see. Link has been dropping. That's good because we wanna buy lower. So it bounced here. The same situation as Go and Zil, right? I waited it. Why did I wait? So this is a good question. Why did I wait? CryptoVince. Why you didn't buy the retest? Okay. This retest, it's a very quick retest, or actually this one. So those retests are good for a short-term trade. So if I go on the 1 hour, breaks, retest, okay, I take my trade because it's retesting. As soon as I see two touches, two retests here, pam pam, and the next candle, boom, I buy this. I buy it, place a stop just below the lows, I make my trade, 2, 3R, get out. Quickly get out. Why? Because this is just a retest of the short term time frame. It's not good for the long term. When I want to trade something for the long term, I want to wait for other bounces. Here it dropped again, rejected, dropped again. Probably I would have entered here again after this. No, this is not actually a bullish engulfing or anything. Comes a red candle, green doesn't tell me too much. I would have probably entered here where the candle is more bullish. I don't know. Now I'm just there are other things that I have to look at. There is some kind of a triangle shape. Probably I would have not entered here thinking about possible pennant and downtrend. I would have never got in this spike. But anyways, I'm looking at 1 hour either to look for an entry, either to look for a short-term time frame, short-term trade. If I'm looking for a swing trade, a longer trade, I don't care about the small bounces. So I'm just gonna look straight in the 4 hour and see here. Is this bounce important? Sure, but we are at all-time high. I'm expecting, we just broke all-time high. If you look at the daily, look what you see, right? Nothing. So when you're looking for to trade the higher time frame, you need to wait some days to look for consolidation, not just a spike. Sometimes, yeah, there is so much FOMO, but the money spot, you gotta look for the money spot. So for a zone of consolidation like this one, where the price has been going there for a while, and here you decide, will it go up or will it drop? If you make a long, you win. If it goes down, you lose. This was a quick bounce. This would have been a tough one to enter, but this is what I'm saying. You have to look for this kind of consolidation level before to enter something based on the daily. If you want to enter a swing trade, you wait for this. So here on the daily, I'm looking to enter link because I want to go long. Did it retest? Did it do nothing? Did it just stay there a bit? No. It spike up, rejected hard. Am I going to enter on next retest? No, because there's such a rejection here. So I'm not going to enter because what I want to look for this trade is this motion, and then I can enter. Okay? I'm not going to enter a whole time high if I don't see nothing, and that's why it's dropping probably. This breakout is a false breakout on the daily. Why is a false breakout? Of course, because it is not holding above my previous high, and these are just breakout traders that get trapped. Traders that buy the breakout, all time high, let's buy, boom, bye bye. So you need to know what time frame you're looking at. You need to know which kind of time frame you want to look for. So you need to look for, first of all, what kind of trade you want to do. Longer, short, and then pick your time frame. So in the 4 hours, it was doing something, and I traced that too in the TA. I posted this. I'm like, you know what? I still don't know what it's gonna do. It's going up and down, up and down. I don't know if this is a faker or it's gonna bounce or not. I don't know. Okay. And then you don't see any bullish engulfing at the support. You don't see a green candle that really goes over the red. So that's another things that you can look at. And now it's dropping. We will look for a possible retracement. I'm not gonna go through now the retracement. I will go more in detail when I'm nice and relaxed. Okay. We'll play with my Fibonacci, of course. Link nulls, still in that correction. It's trying to break. I set an alert on that level. I would like to see if it can break. This is look very closely like what's called VAT USDT that we trade, right? Very similar pattern that we said. Nulls, VAT, USDT, they're very similar. Okay, so that's why I'm focusing on that break. I don't know if you will break that or will go down for a double bottom. Not sure yet, or if it's already making an impulse wave. Okay, not sure yet. I will have to check. Myth called that the bottom without an risk and reward. I was just looking and see. I was going to look the next day, pumped a little bit, didn't make an higher high, now dropping probably because BTC is dropping in the USDT chart. So we'll see if we can bounce again on this level or not. Theta, shit. Oh, I didn't reach there. Well, I was like practicing to see the real level, and let's see. I traced this as a real level. Okay, what I'm doing now, I'm tracing the candle, which is my level, and then I trace the wick of that candle, which might be a great level where price could actually spike. And in this time I didn't. I didn't. Oh, sometimes I forgot stuff. It's not easy to go fast. Why I took this as important high? Well, price broke from here, right? This high. This is the high. Price broke, dropped. Did he make an higher low that it's higher than this high? Yes. So my structure is good now. So the this high is important because stopped here. The price didn't never drop below my previous high. So if I'm considering this as my swing high, and I'm considering this as a swing low. Actually, this is the swing low, the real swing low. Swing low. Now, pattern is made a higher low, right? This low is higher than this, so it's a higher low. Didn't make here an higher high in the short term, but I don't really care too much about this one. Now it spikes up, drop, so this is another good one, higher high. Okay, this is super important, guys, for whoever is looking at this. This will teach you how to identify the real level that you want to watch, not the fake levels. Then you make a higher low. Okay, so higher than my previous swing. So now you can see the market structure is going up. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Is this an higher high? Question: is that a legit higher high? Boom. No, it's a faker. It never made an higher low, so it just went up, boom, drop below my previous high. Try to break above my the wick of that level. Okay, failed. try to break again, failed. Now try to break the candle, failed. Try to break again, fail. Now, it's trying again to break this eye. This is the one I'm looking at, huh? Did he make it? Kind of, almost. He broke a little bit below. So that level could be important, but it's not that. It's not such a break as this one. This is a break. This is important. This is like, still attempting, broke below, and then blah 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 blah. So all these things that you see here, it doesn't mean nothing. Okay, it doesn't mean nothing for your trade. It's not, those are not levels. Those are just whatever, fake. I think they call it probes. People trying to, retailers are trying to buy the breakout, but they never make it. Okay. Then he breaks. Boom. Look at this. Boom. Massive spike. Okay. Massive spike. So this is a higher high. Why though? Because it goes down and this time retest that level, this level that I traced. So now we have a higher high and higher low, possible higher low here. That's why I was testing this to buy here. Which one was my mistake? I didn't count for the wick. So price actually reached that wick. This would have been a nice buy, and price is now up. But I didn't count for that wick. Sometimes that wick acts as a support, sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes you might get lucky, sometimes don't. Why I was charting theta? Because there was the news about Binance listing the other token there. So what other things I see here that could have tell me, oh, you know what, it's a good buy? Bounce on first bounce was 61%. Okay. I remember I was looking at this trade when it was here, I think. When it was right there, we spiked already. Okay, that's why I placed a stop below. I didn't want to FOMO. But other things that that can tell you it's a buy. Well, nice rejection is 61%, so buyers are there. Nice rejection on my higher low. That's good. Spike back up, went up again. Bullish engulfing here. See the green candle higher than the red. It's a bullish engulfing on support. Another good entry. Spike up, higher high, higher low in the short time frame. Higher high. Could make an higher low maybe now, but you know, either below there was another entry too. Why? Because there was this demand zone not tested yet, where that caused a massive spike, and the 70-70 nice retracement level. So it could actually drop all the way down. It could have going this and drop all the way down and then go up. Why not? I mean, why not? We cannot read things exactly how they're gonna do, guys. Like that's the way. Like we don't have the crystal ball that will tell exactly how things will go. So sometimes we might miss, sometimes we stopped out, sometimes we reach the target, and so on. What time frame do you use to calculate the breaker blocks? That's a good question. Well, breaker blocks work in every time frame, first of all. Probably the one in the lower time frame are more work better because you see the price action right away, while with a higher time frame breaker block, as you have seen already, it can be tricky to find your stop because the breaker is so wide that it can actually wick down so much compared to very short-term breaker block. But the strategy works in both situations, in all time frames. So it depends on what you want to do. If you want to go for scalping, 15 minutes breaker block are good. If you want to try to predict a long-term trade manipulation, that's you go look at the higher time frame. Okay, well, theta, we'll see if it comes back down or if we start to break now this level, which is became my high. Became a high, and you can see you already retested it didn't make it, so that's already a hint. And then I trace my wick because I mean wicks are important, you know, it's not that they're not important. Wicks are important because it tells me the price reached there, even though for a bit, but it reached there. So it's good to trace, it's good to trace. Okay, theta. Strategies just talked about today, before. That's it. Then I have my under my radar, which are the coins that I charted, got stopped out. I still think they're good. Mostly our USDT coins. Let's see what we got here. Well, Matic, BTC, you know, those coins where they're doing kind of doing this ABC correction. Matic, I don't know, it might go again. So volatile at the moment. It's kind of bouncing on that level that I traced. Bouncing on the diagonal. So it's keeping the uptrend, but the sell-off is so hard. It actually had a nice pump here. This candle was really good. Diagonal is not so precise. Still very cheap in BTC. So the trend line doesn't come very great. USDT, what is doing? There's this trend line. It's kind of like meh. We'll see. There is some kind of triangle that might start to break here. In the linear scale, nothing. Not as precise as the logarithmic scale. Logarithmic is more the shape. You see the shape of the triangle, which is more precise. Well, this is what I see from now. Then if I gotta do a deep analysis, I will start to see price action and other things to know if these things can go again. But it dumps so hard that it's too high for me to jump on it. If I start to break this high, probably it's already starting to become more interesting. Sell probably doing the same because these coins are following each other. Not sure why. Fat, Seller, and Matic are doing the same. So I call for an ABC correction, and that's what happens. You guys know that ABC correction. So all the guys that jump in here for FOMO, they got trapped and bam, bam, bam. So this is very easy to know, to read it. Why? Because when you have a sell-off that massive, that means the guy that pumped the shit, they're just selling, and this is just FOMO. Traders that think, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy because it went up 1000%, and then they get wrecked. So now it's time to see, will it start another massive wave or not? I don't know that. We have to see if it start to break some levels before to even think that this coin can do another wave and go to the moon. Link USDT is following also the BTC chart. XLM. XLM is so volatile. Those spikes are like 20%. I'm not even gonna to touch it for now. Still looking to find some stability. I don't see nothing at the moment to even think about buying this inverse head and shoulder. It's too scary. ADA. I have a buy if it breaks that level. Also a possible inverse head and shoulder pattern here. Something like that. No? Something like that. XMR is, oh, when I enter this coin so bad. So XMR is following that ABCD that I traced. So I suggested if you guys wanted to scalp in between the triangle, if you bought it when I called it, let's see, sell at D for now. And then I think it might have another drop and then go up if that's the case. I mean, triangle looks pretty. It looks pretty nice. You see how symmetrical it is and how the waves are going up and down. So that's a good triangle to consider when it's as a nice shape and it's super symmetrical. That's what happened. Traders are buying before because they want to jump in before those guys. So there is interest. Okay. So the first time buyers buy because it bounced on support 127 here of the Fibonacci. Goes up, people sell. Why they sell before? Because the price is so high, so they want to sell before these guys. Okay, so we're like, you know what, I'm gonna sell it before it reaches here, so I take profit. Then it drops, and people interest is still on, it's still great, and people that want to buy this coin, they're going to buy before it reaches lower because they want to jump in, they don't want to miss it, and so on. Then when we go up again, they're not going to sell at B, they're going to sell before everybody does. So that's why triangle form. Okay, that's why we have this motion. And then when there is no margin to make money, either drops or either pumps. Okay, that's why symmetric triangle can break 50-50. Those symmetric triangles are called also pennant. Pennant is just a smaller, quick formation on a triangle, and usually pennants are bullish and bearish. Bullish because it forms from an uptrend. So this could actually be a pennant because it's not that big of a symmetrical triangle. It's what 10 days, so it still can be a pennant. And if it is a pennant, it's just a correction of a possible continuation. So the uptrend, correction, and it might do another uptrend. Okay. as he did but in previously, but he did the bull flag. Okay, so correction we know can be many, can be flat top, can be flat bottom, can be triangle, can be bull flag, can be a falling wedge, can be so many. In this case he did a bullish flag. Okay, correction, boom. Let's do another correction, it might do boom. Okay, so we'll see. Have an alert set on the break of the diagonal. Seller, I use seller now. Well, USDT, I don't see it that good, to be honest. If it can break, if it can break 1390 on the USDT chart, it could go up to 16. Like if it breaks this level, it could go up here, and then I don't know. But right now is not going. So if it stays here, it might just drop again, and maybe find support here and then drop. So yeah, the USDT chart doesn't look good. BTC, same story. Look, I have the same level. Look how interesting this is, right? I trace the same level, and this is what it's doing. It's making higher lower highs and lower lows. So market structure is broken. So until it doesn't break again and make higher highs, higher lows, I'm bearish on this. XLM, XMR, we're talking about XMR, okay. XMR, that's what it is. ATC, I have a nice, this looks like ADA, very similar. This is very similar as a cup and handle pattern. So there is an uptrend. Cup and handle pattern is a correction of an uptrend. So this is the cap, and this might be the handle. Where is it? A bull flag usually, or a falling wedge usually is a bull flag, something like that. Okay, and we might buy on you can either buy, if it breaks, of course, because sometimes people trace, I like to trace this too, which is the handle like this. So when it break, you can either buy on many levels here. You can buy on support of the flag. You can buy if it breaks the flag. You can buy if it breaks resistance. If it breaks resistance, right? So many points, depends on your risk and your confirmation. This is a great level for ATC. Retested the support that I traced it and never traded like a dummy, and is now retesting previous high. And let's see if he's make this bull flag shape on the lower time frame. So there is a channel. Not as precise on the lower part. It's hard to trace false breakouts when it comes to diagonals. So we'll see how this will how price will play inside this wedge, this channel. Tracing overall Fibonacci of the main spike. So let's start from here. Already bounced to 61%. But if I don't consider the wick, it's at 50%. Very wicky on top. bullish engulfing already did this thing. I'll be dropping now. Sellers are still strong here. Buyers kind of shy. No volume, like red volume is good. No green yet. Just a little bit here, but no, not yet a buy. Not yet a buy. XLM. This is the massive chart I trace on the weekly. Yeah, no, on 3 days. On 3 days there was that block demand zone, and look how it worked pretty good, but it wicked down before, so it took out the stops before spiking up. This is it's tough call because it's such in a higher time frame that it's hard to place a stop that low. If I would try to enter this and I would trade enter in the middle of the block to place a stop below that level, I would be 17% stop loss, so that's so wide, okay? But you know, add a reaction. That's good. So we'll see how this correction will play out. Was stopped at just a little level, nothing so crazy important. The price didn't really stay here that much as it did here, so this is what you should do. So if price stays about a level for so long, that's a better level. Here it stays here just for a few days. Not as strong, but it's something. So we'll see if now it's able to make an higher low, maybe on 70, 61%. We can see how it reacts, and we'll see if it starts to turn a bit, we might enter, but this is super risky. Of course, we're buying at the bottom of something that didn't really give us any great confirmation. We actually have a breaker right on the equilibrium of the massive breaker. So this is a breaker. So that's a breaker that took out the stop. But it's a daily breaker, so it's not it's very wide. So that could be one. That could be nice. Let's see if it tested here already. If they if they manipulated the price here already. So we go closer and we see if we look for the retest of this level. Now the breakers start to become smaller, right? So I will still consider this as my main breaker because this is the daily, okay? But I can trace other blocks to be more precise, okay? But I will consider this as a main level to place a stop. Anyways, this is 8 hours, 4 hours, nothing yet, just a breakout. If I go in the hour, no, in the hour, no. So it can still be a nice breaker based on the daily. So let's go in the 4 hour. Okay, now do you guys see? In this case, this little green candle is the one that caused the dump, okay? But before the green candle is another green candle, and then another green candle. So the breaker is all this. It's not just the last candle in this case, okay? So I increase my my time frame until I see a green candle, and that's probably the nice one that I want to look for a buy. Okay, that's my nice breaker that we could see if it can play out. That's a nice breaker on the 12 hours. That would be a nice flip if we can catch this. Nice catch. And then we have still the big one. Okay. We have the big one. So I'm thinking about so this is what I think when I think about breakers and when I want to try an attempt. Some breakers just the wick, the price just wicks, touches it just above it and then goes. So I don't want to really miss it. But if I buy high, my stop, then it will become pretty low, so pretty wide, so my risk reward will drop. So I have to kind of find a balance between the two things. So I might just try to buy on the top of the green, which is the equilibrium of the center part of this breaker, the orange one, and price might go up from here, where I will place a stop. Let's find a damn stop, nice one. So this is my low of this pattern. I'm gonna place a stop below that. So if I enter here, I place a stop below this and below 88%. That's a good trade. And if we arrive here, it's a 3-point R. It's still very low, And if we can enter on this trade and XLM start to pump like hell, we are gonna trail the shit out of this trade, trailing forever, because I'm going to try to swing trade all the way. Ah, that would be nice. Okay, that's an idea, guys. XLM, could be a really good trade if it plays out. And with the BTC chart, with BTC, too bad it's not with USDT, would have been better. But interesting setup. Of course, what you guys can see, full downtrend. We have no clue that this thing is reversing. We are buying on lowest support, so it's super risky. We can get stopped out 70% on this one probably. Like, there's no confirmation, just some price action that tells us, you know what, we might buy here. Is it good or not? So we're not buying when it breaks. So if it breaks, it start to go up, and then here, this might be a good entry. This one could be an even better entry. But we gotta take some risk if we wanna make more money, right? LTC straight up trend. This is what I'm looking at. There is massive support. I'm going to look. If it breaks this, I buy. These things will go to $200 probably. And it's still an uptrend, making higher highs. I didn't kill a low yet, just straight uptrend. So trade the uptrend, right? But this is an important level for sure. EOS too. EOS is very similar. Attempt to break The low, ADA is all-time low, huh? Oh, let's go look for a breaker here. Is actually in this breaker. This is very similar to Stellar. So we have this breaker. This is a 3-day breaker. Though it's so big. See, this breaker worked. Can you guys see that? This is the breaker, the small one that caused the drop, took out the stop, spike, reached here, poof, spike all the way up. So that was a good breaker. And this is a false breakout. So what's going on here now? Well, we have a breaker block, but it's massive. So we have to go in the lower time frame. Stops are probably here. They've been taken. This is tricky, but this is our block right here. And I will take both candles. That's our block. But it's wiki. So of course this blue line that matches with this one, that will be my stop because it's the previous one. But there are these wicks too that are very dangerous. So this is not an easy one to place a stop at all. Go to towers. If I go in and I don't really see my block again, or it just switches a lot, I rather don't consider it. But yeah, we can just play the 12-hour block. Did he play out already or not? No. Well, the stop, it's tough one on this. Or we play below the blue and we re-enter if we get stopped out. Let me play this 88 too here. Well, if we gotta play that 88, I'd rather just go below here, because you know, if I place 88, these little wicks, I'd rather just go down here and 10% and done. But the tight stop could maybe do something. But the BTC market, it's like the one we have seen, right? DGD, TRX, XLM, they are all like doing this pattern that if BTC pumps like crazy, these are not going to work because those coins are going to die against BTC. So we really need BTC to drop to trade those coins, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, sorry, I'm getting tired. Ethereum USDT, you guys know. Oh, it's breaking a little bit, but it's not a pennant. Then on daily, I consider a pennant. I mean, Link, when I talked about Link, right, has to move more for me to consider this a consolidation. It's trying a bit, but for me, a buy is above breaking this level here, horizontal. Dash, I'm really trying to understand what's going on here because it's a mess. I mean, I know there is a falling wedge, retest, and spike, but I don't know the waves here. Here, Ekinashi might help. So I see three waves. I'm not sure if this first one is an impulse. Can be considered as that. I mean, rules are followed here. This is a great Elliot. The 2 never drops 100%. The third is longest, correct, more than 1, 2, and 5 can do whatever he wants. So it is a good one. So is he doing an ABC to drop and then go up again? To drop on previous high actually. Good. Oh yeah, if he drops on this high, I'm gonna buy it. So this is interesting. Which one was the coin that I was explaining the high and lows? Oh, theta. So before to finish this, so let's go back on theta. Was it? Yeah. No, the theta USDT. So many coins. USDT. Okay, so I was talking about higher highs and higher lows, right? You identify which one is the real high, okay? And we say this is the real high on here on the 2-hour time frame, okay? So I traced this level. I didn't trace the other levels, right? Because they were fake. If you guys are just stepping in now, I did a full analysis on this before. You can watch the video again. So I'm not gonna trace this level. Many of you would have traced, okay, this is a level, okay? It might do something in the future because its price reached there twice, so it matters at the end in the TA. So some traders might sell just because the high, but we say that this level was the most important one. Same thing happened with Dash USDT. Now I traced the wick, right? Is there a level? No, it's not. So I traced the wick just to see what happened before. And look at this. So this is interesting because it tells you how important recognize the time frame is. So if I'm trading on the daily, look what happened. The candle closed above this level, right? And probably my real level based on the 2-day time frame is this one, okay? So candle closed above this level, made an higher low above the high, so this is super legit, okay? Now, if I drop, things are gonna change. So if I want to buy this coin based on the daily, I'm gonna place a massive stop loss in order to trade this one. But if I go on the 12 hours, things already start to change. You guys can see that if I trace my my high, my swing high, not the candle, everything here fucks up. So that's not the level anymore, right? Because if price would have reached here and if I bought it there, I would have lost. So which one is the real level now based on 12-hour time frame? The candle. That's the real level. And this is all false breakouts, attempt to break. Look here, now the candle almost closed above my level, so it's a good level to watch for me in the 12 hours. So different time frame, different story. If I go 8-hour time frame, maybe a similar. Not as good. I can just drop it and be more precise on 8 hours. So will be more precise. So in this case, I would have bought a little bit lower on entry and place a stop on the same price. Anyways, what I'm looking at is a nice bounce. Where will it bounce? So what I do, I set a nice candle that can vary between 12 hours, 8 hours. So I set the candle body, and then that will change, and then I trace the high of that level. Okay, so one I trace solid, one I trace dashed. So for me, this range is where I can buy this, because there will never be a perfect price. That's why I hate the TA channel, that I have to give you guys still numbers. I hate that because it's not gonna be an entry, a perfect entry. My premium should work with zone. That would be the best way to trade altogether. We won't place buy walls, we won't buy all at the same time, we'll just buy in the zone. Everybody will know to buy in between 139 and 131, for example. But so what can happen? Well, price can drop, maybe see correction to go down in this previous high, and I don't know what it will do. Can do here, go up, can drop, the way down. Of course, there is this wick it's super important, wick all the way down there. So probably my stop already should go there if I'm thinking about the long time frame. Okay, and then I can consider the short-term blocks and all other kind of stuff. So this is 8 hours. On the 8 hours, what I see, well, I still have that spike. Still have this candle. Is the candle that started everything, and it's huge. So it's still that big. So I can reach there, and my stop is still pretty wide. On an 8-hour time frame, things start to change a bit. My buy zone becomes this one with the stop that is still there because the wick don't change. But it could also bounce here on this block. Why it could bounce on this one? Why I could bounce on that one? Because that's the wick of my high. Okay, it could bounce there, but most of the time it doesn't bounce on the wick. It bounces more on the demand zone, and it closes the candle in the higher time frame above that. So what I'm hoping to see is a wick that goes down and boom, goes back up, and candle close above the range. The problem is where to put stop loss, which is pretty hard right now. Which is pretty hard. I would like to focus on price action if stuff arrives there, if the price arrives there, and see, because this is a very wide stop. I mean, it's a very wide stop. Like if we would do, let's say, the risk and reward, if we would buy on top of the blue, that's 3.5 R, not bad actually, for the 4 hours. If we set up like this, we try to be safe. Here will be 78% retracement also. The 88 could be another one. So I'm placing a stop below 100% retracement of this coin. So it's pretty safe. And then we got our breaker. Our breaker block. Then I'm gonna make in red. Oh. Let's see if 1 hour gets better. No, it's still huge. Yeah, that breaker is massive. However, I trace it as this wick that it's huge. I mean, this one took out the stops. Did it? I mean, it took out these tops. Like it did. Actually, it also took out those stops. Yes. So, as I was saying in the Edu channel today, look for wicks, right? Look for a wick, massive wick that, and then the price goes up pretty fast. So this is the wick, right? And this is the kind of block. I wanna find even a short time one. Oh, it's getting too messy here. Well, if you wanna be precise, that's what you're gonna do. Which is the block that caused that took out the stop, this green candle, right? So the green candle will be a possible breaker. Make it red. You guys can see it. This green candle is the block that took out the stop. Price reached there, broke it, retested once, retested again, and so that actually is a good breaker. Okay, and if you go in the 12-hour chart, things change. Of course, you won't see that breaker anymore. Okay, so the breaker might work again as C if we extend it. So many supports I'm looking at. Where is the best buy? Don't know yet. We have to see how price, what price does if it drops all the way down. I'm gonna place an alert on 7070 so I know it's coming there, and then we'll see. Okay, well, 2 hours, perfect. Atom decided to bounce on 7070 again. Still, I'm not gonna enter again, just stopped out here higher. We'll see what it's up to. Well, guys, I think I covered all the altcoins and BTC, so I'm done. tomorrow I take a break, and I'm gonna join my life, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Make sure you don't get wrecked. Watch out BTC. I still think that, I think that if manipulators or people that want to pump it, they will pump it this weekend if they want, they're bullish, because many traders are not gonna trade, so they can squeeze the shorts and destroy everybody while they're not at the computer. Otherwise, if things are just don't do nothing, yeah, I'm leading more bearish. So it's not time to break resistance yet. Just take this as opinion, nothing that I can predict 100%, but that's the idea I got in mind. So that's it. Review this video if you just jump on the stream right now, because there's lots of things I talked about and many updates that you guys can check. Thank you so much, and I will have a nice weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Bye.